This is Jonathan here with TechMillennial. I'm over here with James from Media Dei in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All the way from Texas, flying all the way down here to see what this business is all about. So James, tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
Sure. Well, I run a company called Media Dei, and we work with churches, schools, and nonprofits, and we do all the cool leading edge social media, online web design, digital services that they can't afford, that nobody wants to work with them, and they're not the cool people in our society to work with. They're not a cool sneaker, they're not a next phone, so they're not like the fun people to work with, and so they're left all alone, and they're desperate for elite leading social media marketing services. And so what we do is we come in, we bring our young entrepreneurial mindset, and we help them out, and that's what we do.
Awesome, amazing. So as you heard, James from Media Dei works with a lot of nonprofit 501c3 organizations that aren't really considered hip anymore, but he is doing a lot to help the community out and helping
That's right.
these soup kitchens, helping
That's right.
churches, and all these nonprofits who are on a budget.
Schools are big.
Schools.
They're looking to get students, they're opening up, and they don't have the money, they can't afford, $50,000 marketing budget. So how do they get the students, how do they get the professors, the instructors, how do they get the facilities? They have this chicken and the egg problem, because that's how they get the money from the students. How do they get the students without the money?
Exactly.
They're stuck.
Yes.
So we come in, we find ways to make the numbers work financially. We severely underprice our services, but we strive to provide the leading, industry-leading, quality of the website work, social media, web design work, online community management, crowdfunding work. So we don't skimp on the quality, but we skimp on the budget that we require to make that work available.
So James, what are some of the strategies that you use to grow these nonprofits and have these fundraising campaigns to grow and scale so you can make enough money for them to use for the better cause?
Well, the number one thing is they need a very strong brand identity. They often don't know how to present themselves, the right copy, the right graphics that will present them in a very cool light. So the number one thing is to show them how they should view themselves and present themselves to the world. That's number one. That's not trivial, because you can't just throw some slapdash graphic and call it a day, especially with the nonprofits, because a lot of the work they do is very touchy-feely. It's not like the next, it's not like launching the next chair, which doesn't really matter. Like if you're building the next chair, it doesn't really matter. Or building that chair, it doesn't really matter. If you're building a school, it matters. So there's no money there, obviously. That's why it's a nonprofit. But it affects people's hearts. So there's the heart equity, even though there's no financial equity in that project. So you tap into the heart equity, and you say, why does it matter to people? How does it affect people? Why should this new school matter? What does it bring to the community? What hope does it inspire in people? Or if it's a church, whatever, what does it believe? What are its core convictions? Why should that matter? So these things that don't exist in the for-profit world exist in a nonprofit world. So you find those, you pull them out, and you really promote them as part of that, organization's brand, right? And then the next thing is you make the community be vibrant around them, right? So you do all that Facebook stuff, the Twitter stuff, social media. You get the community to get more and more interested in this school, let's say, and all these values that you've pulled out from them and about them. You pull them out. Now you promote those values in that community, and you get more people interested in, this is what the school is all about. This is what they teach. This is what they're interested in. This is how they shape and form the students. This is what they seek to inculcate in the students.
And you just told me not too long ago, in the conversation that we had not too long ago, he said that he raised how much for a nonprofit?
What's that?
You said you had a GoFundMe that you raised this amount of money.
I raised $15,000.
$15,000, guys. He raised $15,000 on GoFundMe for a journalist?
For a journalist here in Philadelphia.
And why did you raise that money? What was the reason to raise that much money for a journalist?
Well, we just wanted to raise as much as we could. Because he's building a brand new website, so he needed that money. But the question was, could he possibly deserve it? Because he's very elderly. He doesn't know anything about crowdfunding at all.
Yes.
But he had a huge following online. He's been read for 20 years. He has a crappy website that people read at at a good scale. So he had a following
Yep.
and a good heart equity that I just mentioned.
Okay.
He had no financial equity, so that's why he was struggling.
Right.
So we came in, we tapped into that community.
Yes.
We tapped into the heart equity.
Uh-huh.
We got them to submit $5, $10, $15, $20 a
Wow.
person,
Yeah.
and you got $15,000 out of that.
That's amazing, folks. I mean, I've never met anybody that raised this amount of money in my life. This is one of the first ones. Anyways, me and James have a history together. Post-deployment, he was like a big brother to me, and you know, he has Media Dei as a company, and now I have TechMillennial. So we want to work together, grow our initiatives as a big family. And if you're in the veteran community, this guy supports nonprofits and veterans. So if you're trying to do something to create a 501c3 or you have one that's existing, make sure you contact this amazing person here. All right, his name is James, once again, and he owns Media Dei. So I'm going to leave the comments up there. Make sure you shoot a like and make sure you give him a little outreach. So thank you, James. Appreciate it. See you guys.